When I was younger, I had an obsession for Legos. I would ask for them on literally every special occasion, like a Monday or a Tuesday or even a Wednesday. For some reason, I thought that every package, every gift, every box lying around was a Lego set, and it was for me. I remember one time I was playing in my basement, playing with Legos, of course, and I heard the garage open. I ran over to the garage door to greet my mom coming home from work. She got out of the car, and instead of walking towards me, she turned around and opened the rear passenger door. I looked through the windshield to figure out what she might need from the rear seats. She reached her arms over this large box and dragged it out of the car and into her hands. While balancing the box on her hip, she shut the door and started walking toward me. She saw this big grin on my face and my arms were out wide, and I knew exactly what she was thinking. She thought I was going to give her a hug after a long day at work. Little did she know, I was actually positioning my arms to be able to hold what I thought was a new Lego set for me. I looked like a kid who didn't get a present on Christmas Day when I realized the box wasn't a Lego set and it wasn't for me. Year after year, I devoted my free time to building Legos. I would sit in my basement, surrounded by my stockpile of unbuilt Lego sets, vigorously building with the utmost concentration. It's a skill I no longer have. I would ignore my mom when she told me to unload the dishwasher or go make my bed or even go to sleep, as they all took away time from building. My mom, she tolerated all my nonsense, but she did have one rule. Anytime it were my friends' birthdays, I would have to pick my favorite Lego set and give it to them as a gift. Now, the first time my mom made me do this was the first hardship I faced in life. It was like my world was collapsing in on me, like every nightmare I had was coming true. It wouldn't be far-fetched to say that I was a dramatic kid. This was me when I found out that I had to give away my Lego sets. It was only years later that I realized the thought behind why my mom made me do such a dreadful thing. It was her way of teaching me to give from the heart and not from the hand. If it wasn't for my mom's rule, I would have given my least favorite Lego sets to my friends. It wasn't that I was a mean kid, I just naturally wanted to keep those which I liked more. By making me give away my most prized sets, a new weight of value was added to them. I was forced to appreciate those that remained, and every Lego set I now gave came from a special place inside me. My mom would tell me, the more you give, the more you get. If you want something, if you want more of something, then you have to give that something to those around you first. She would tell me, if you give your all to a cause, a purpose, without seeking anything in return, you will inevitably be rewarded because good travels in a cycle. My mom, she would call me a sensitive kid. Anything I observed, I took to heart. Any movie that had even the slightest sad scene, tears would just start flowing down my cheeks. It got so bad to the point that I had to chant in my head, it's just a movie, they're just actors, this isn't even real, just so that my dad wouldn't tease me. My mom would just say I cried because I was so empathetic, but I'm pretty sure she said that just to convince me and probably herself a little too that I was a normal kid. As I grew older, I came to understand the true meaning of empathy, along with compassion and kindness too. But I would commonly confuse empathy and compassion. I didn't know the difference between them, and I didn't know which one was more important. But switching to present-day me, I realized it was actually quite simple. Empathy is feeling. Compassion is action. Jeremy Adams Smith of the UC Berkeley Greater Good Science Center summarized it as, empathy refers more generally to our perspective, to our ability to take the perspective of others and feel their emotions. Compassion is when those thoughts and feelings include the desire to help. Now, why is compassion more important than empathy? It's because it entails so much more than just a feeling. Compassion is one of the most fundamental social impulses, and doing things for others without expecting anything in return is core to what makes us human. Charles Darwin, although a man of notoriously flawed beliefs, did conclude one thing that we can all learn a little from. Dr. Keltner, psychology professor at UC Berkeley, found that the ideas of social Darwinism and white man's burden were inherently flawed because Darwin's theory implied so much more. Darwin's theory implied that the good in humans is equally, if not more, imperative to evolution than the bad. In other words, we have compassion because compassion helps our species survive. Darwin, in Descent of Man, explained that our fundamental instinct to help others is spontaneous, like smiling back at someone when they smile at you, or making someone feel good when they're down. When we are prevented from acting on this impulse, we feel guilty. We feel remorseful. Now you may be thinking, why is there so much hatred in this world if compassion is embedded in our genes and vital to the evolution of humans? But evil is not inherent in humans. Extreme violence is not inherent in humans. It is the environment in which we create, the society in which we live, the morals and values which we observe, which incite the acts of wrong today. However, there is no perfect community, no perfect utopia. We just seem to focus on what happened wrong instead of what happened right. I can't help but be reminded of the old Cherokee story. The grandfather tells his grandson, the wolf that wins the fight between good and evil within you, within all of us, is the wolf we choose to feed. Is that still not true today? Can't go there yet. Now, I was offered this opportunity. I was given this opportunity to help the first responders of Dublin. My friend called me and said, Raghav, I got a problem and I need help. I responded, I know you got problems, but I don't know if I can help. By the end of the conversation, though, I was beaming ear to ear. She told me that she was given the opportunity to help the first responders of Dublin. Without a second thought, I said yes, and we immediately went to work. Working under the nonprofit organization Sponsor Kids, we started our long journey to positively impact the lives of those who make Dublin the truly amazing place it is today. The friend who called me, Sanjana Mangapuram, and I recruited 3 other people into our mission: Peter Lynn, Owen Wohlers, and Shreya Chittikela. We're all from Kaufman and Jerome high schools, and we all had a passion for education. That's why we decided to help the first responders of Dublin in a very unique way. We created PFS, Police and Fire Scholarship, a scholarship fund. With the hopes of raising awareness regarding the underrepresentation of first responders and expanding the educational horizons of their children, we provide an educational scholarship to the children of first responders. Now, when we first created this, many people asked us why. Why do we want to help the first responders of Dublin? Our answer was quite simple. We were inspired by their compassion. These community heroes are the epitome of perseverance, discipline, and character. They put their lives out on the line for our community, and they represent the values that Dublin is so proud of and so credited for. Unfortunately, we view our first responders more as authoritative figures rather than regular people. We seem to forget that they too need to be shown compassion. It can't just be a one-way relationship. So that's why we decided to show our appreciation to the service they provide Dublin with the service of our own. Our goal is to break the numerous barriers which hold back the multitude of deserving children from seeking education after high school. We provide scholarships at every trimester of the year so that we can give the flexibility to students to apply whenever they need to. But our scholarship organization is not like other scholarship funds. We're very unique. Our scholarship fund is very specific to the first responders, the children of first responders in Dublin. Our essay questions and teacher recommendation forms are niche to these students. We focus on their attitude and their character rather than their GPA, like every other scholarship fund. Many scholarship funds nowadays, they focus on 2- and 4-year colleges, but we encourage any and all vocational schools. Our organization is imperative. It's crucial because we hope to stand for more than just a service that we provide. We hope to bridge the gap between different sectors of our community by providing a common goal that we can all work to achieve. We started a movement in what we are calling Dublin sustainability. Everything we purchase, use, and provide is sourced right here in Dublin. Our business advisor is Sri Gaddam, CEO of the exponentially successful company ERP Analytics. With his help, we were able to create a successful business plan which engaged the local companies with our organization. We created social media accounts, a website, flyers, business cards, and even bumper stickers for those of you who want to get out of a speeding ticket. It's one of the perks of helping out our police officers. This is our way of engaging the community in our cause. If we come together with a homologous goal in mind, we can achieve so much more. We can spread compassion like never before. In less than 2 months, a new era will begin, the decade of 2020. In 2020, our organization is planning on expanding our program to more townships and more departments in hopes of spreading all across Ohio in the not-so-distant future. We hope to recruit more members into our organization to make sure that our scholarship fund is sustainable even after we graduate. But we can't achieve these goals without the help of our community, without the help of each and every one of you in this room. So I ask of you today, take a step back and appreciate what our community has to offer. Be thankful for living in Dublin. But the most important thing is to take initiative and pay our appreciation forward. Let's get involved in our community. The cycle of virtue and good is only as prosperous as the food we feed it. The compassion in our community is only as valuable as the environment we foster. We have the power as individuals who create this community, who build up this community to positively impact the lives of our classmates, of our colleagues, of our friends, and our family. Dublin can reach its full potential if we step back and give more than we receive. So join me, and let's make this next decade our golden age. Thank you.